welcome back to the channel. Today is May Marathon day 17 or 18. I think we're on day 18, but today I kind of wanted to just chill, maybe do a little reflection video, a little chit chat video, girl to girl, sister to sister. I do have the rest of my protein iced coffee, even though all the ice is melted. I might go get more ice, I'm just not sure yet. I am on day 2 of my period. My birthday just passed, so if you have not been watching the last May Marathon videos, definitely go check those out. I leave for my birthday trip in just a couple days, and I cannot wait. Today, since I just turned 23, figured it would be a really good time to kind of sit here and relax with you guys a little bit and kind of just talk about some things that I have learned by turning 23. This is going to be a mix of beauty, fitness, relationships, friendships, family, situations, and kind of everything in between. And you guys, my makeup today, I'm trying to do some days like really natural and like not do any heavy eyeliner and maybe just match my lipstick to the dress I'm wearing. I'm wearing this super cute like purpley lace dress. It's so cute, so comfortable. This was in the back of my closet because after my weight loss, I've been trying to buy a new wardrobe. Like, boyfriend's always buying me stuff, always buying me clothes and t-shirts and everything like that, so I have so many clothes now. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. But let's get started. The first thing that I have learned is, honestly, it's okay to start over, even if it is again and again and again and again. I have done my weight loss journey literally throughout my whole life, even since I was like 13. I can remember, you know, I've talked about this in so many past videos too, but I remember just yo-yo dieting. You know, I was so young, I didn't even really know what dieting was, what nutrition was, what, you know, anything really was. And I think that's one of the downsides of growing up on social media. You grow up with certain beauty standards. You grow up in society and, you know, women are supposed to look a certain way. I think you definitely grow more into yourself and you figure out what your style is. You're experimenting with your styles. You're experimenting with yourself. You're just really learning how to connect with yourself in that way and really learn and figure out who you are. And I always struggled with that. Sometimes I even still struggle with my identity. I started over, honestly, countless of times, you guys. And if I didn't keep starting over and starting over and starting over again and again and again, I wouldn't even be sitting here where I am right now, or even maybe alive. Starting over does not have to be bad. It's not a bad thing, like, whatsoever. I would have preferred to start over again and again and again just to lead me where I am today, rather than starting over and giving up completely because I didn't win on the first try. I didn't succeed on the first attempt. And it's just, you can't think like that. And that's something that I still do struggle with to this day, is just really black and white thinking. That thinking is just really negative. It's really toxic. Do not think like that. If you need to start over, it doesn't matter even how old you are. It's not too late. You can start over. You can start something and be so good at it within 6 months to a year. I'm really good at dancing. I'm really good at, you know, enjoying that. But when it comes to singing, bitch, I'm not a good singer. I can't sing to save my life. You know what I mean? Like, and it's okay. It is okay. So the next thing that I've learned by 23 is closure usually comes from within yourself, not other people. And this goes for any type of closure. Growing up in kind of a narcissistic household, I have had to cut a lot of family members out of my life. Just things happen, and expecting closure from other people is just gonna leave you feeling empty. And honestly, take it from experience, because there have been certain situations where I have tried over and over and over to get closure from somebody, whether that be somebody that I'm seeing, somebody I'm intimate with, or, you know, like I said, a family member. It always leaves a hole in my soul. It always leaves a hole in my heart. I always feel disconnected from myself. I always feel, you know, just unhappy, unfulfilled. And that definitely started changing, not only when I started losing weight, but just really treating myself with more respect and kindness, and knowing that, you know, if certain people don't treat me with respect, if certain people, you know, talk about me behind my back, family members included. That's mainly who I'm talking about. This is just my situation. For everybody, it might be a little different. So just take it with a grain of salt and use it with your own life and your own story. Getting closure for me stopped being about everybody else when, you know, like I said, I learned self-respect. I learned how to genuinely take care of myself, not only my body, but my mind, my soul, my spirit. And just feeling disrespected all the time by other people, it was doing more damage to me, and I knew it was doing damage to me. And it just led me in such a dark path, such a dark, depressing, just evil. It honestly felt like a very evil path. And I wouldn't have gotten out of that if I started looking to myself for closure, if I didn't start doing that. One of the ways that really helped me achieve that is going to therapy. And I've been going to therapy for about 4 years now. It honestly took me about 3 to 4 different therapists anyways to find the perfect one that I have. And that happens too, you know, when you walk into therapy, you might not click with your therapist immediately. It might take you a couple sessions to get comfortable with them, and that's completely normal. And honestly, after going to therapy for a long time, I've wanted to become a therapist for children. So maybe that's something I will achieve in this life, and you know, maybe one day I can go into a little bit more detail on just my family's background and just my background growing up and everything. I do have a lot of interesting stories. I also am eating a little snack. I'm eating 2 little low-calorie beef sticks while we're gonna just sit here and chit-chat. I hope you guys don't mind. Little mukbang moment, if you will. But the next thing I learned by turning 23, romanticizing your life literally changes everything. And I mean like everything. Cooking, taking a bath, going on a walk, doing your makeup. I mean, every little thing, romanticize it. Act like you're literally in a movie. Act like you're being filmed. There are certain things that I romanticize, and there are other things that I try not to because it might get unhealthy or obsessive in a certain way. Lighting a candle at night, having an incense lit, watching TV or a show at night, watching Netflix, laying in the bed with my boyfriend, going on a walk with my dog, taking a nice hot shower on my period, going shopping for clothes or shoes, doing my makeup, doing my hair, going to the gym, meal prepping. I'm not good at meal prepping because I hate leftovers, yuck, but just cooking a meal, you know, romanticizing feeding your body. And honestly, you don't even have to romanticize the beautiful moments, the perfect days. You can romanticize kind of the rough, bad, and negative, moody, PMSy days too. So I'm on my period right now, and I honestly romanticized my whole morning, like taking a nice hot shower, getting some vitamin D before I started, you know, working. And I honestly romanticize rainy days. Like, rainy days are one of my perfect, just the most amazing days for me. It's so cozy, so quiet. Even by yourself, I have started romanticizing being alone as well. The next thing that I have learned by 23 is healing is not linear, and some days are still really hard. And this is coming from somebody who always talks about, you know, taking grace and being grateful for the journey that I've gone through and I'm still going through. And knowing that some days are going to be rough, some days are going to be, you know, challenging, but trying to see the beauty in that negativity and those really bad days, and knowing that it's just one day. It's not the rest of your life. It's not the whole book. It's not your whole story. You know, something may not have gone your way. Something may have come up, and something may have negative or dark energy attached to it, but you don't have to keep that inside of you. You don't have to let that ruin your whole day. And you know, the other day when I was trying to do my birthday photo shoot, my fucking heel broke. It pissed me off. I was so emotional because I set out to do something and I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to turn out the way that I was imagining and wanted it to. And when that happened, like as soon as I got there, I'm gonna be honest, I was really upset. I was cussing. I was not happy. You did not want to be near me, you know, during the first 20 minutes because I was just not a happy person. But, you know, on the way home, reflecting, you know, I'm really happy with the photos I got. And, you know, maybe if my heel broke, maybe it just needed to break. Maybe I needed to go through that to put me on the right path that I needed to go on. I don't fully understand why that would happen, but maybe I'm not meant to understand why that happened yet. Maybe it is just all part of the bigger picture. That's not my goal. My goal isn't to be perfect. My goal isn't to share my perfect life. I'm just living my life. I'm documenting it. I'm sharing it. I'm sharing my story. I'm sharing my journey. And if my journey helped or supported or touched or reached another woman with a similar journey and similar story to me, I think my job is well done, and I'm very happy with accomplishing just that alone. The next thing that I have learned by 23 is you are allowed to take up space, and that goes for anywhere. You're allowed to take up space at school. You're allowed to take up space at the gym, at work, in the world, at the restaurant, anywhere, at the store. I mean, anywhere that you're going, you're allowed to take up that space. And it honestly took me a long time to realize that. And it goes figuratively and literally, because being a bigger girl my whole life, it was always really hard for me to kind of fit anywhere, and I always just felt really big. I was a big girl, so I always just felt out of place. I always felt, you know, not welcome, not wanted in certain spaces or situations, and it really took me not only earning a certain confidence during this whole journey, but earning self-respect, knowing that I'm allowed to take up space wherever that may be. And, you know, taking up space in the gym has been something that has been so enlightening to me. So just know you can take up space. We're all human beings on this itty bitty planet in this humongous universe that is growing as we speak. The next thing I've learned, it kind of goes hand in hand with the healing aspect, but the next thing is that not everybody deserves access to you, and you need to protect your peace. You need to protect your space, protect your heart, protect your soul, protect your spirit, protect everything about you, because not everybody deserves access to those very, very intimate details of who you are as a person, who you are in this world, in this universe. And some people are just very negative. They will seep into your energy. They will steal it all. I know a lot of people in my family that are energy vampires, and I will be having a great week, a great month, even a great day. And as soon as I'm near that one family member or a couple of family members, if we're being honest, I honestly start having a really bad week, a really bad day, a really bad month, because their energy is just so negative. It's so toxic. It's so draining. And that's why I had to cut a lot of my family members off. And this goes with friends and other, you know, romantic interests I once had. Like, I had to cut a lot of them off because it was just draining me. It was making me somebody I didn't recognize. It was really leading me down a dark path, not only internally, but physically as well. And if I didn't change that, you guys, I don't know where I would be. So really protecting your peace. And this goes for social media as well. You know, I see a lot of negativity on social media, and that's why I don't use TikTok. I use Instagram very sparingly, but I mostly use Facebook and YouTube. So, you know, really protecting your peace on social media as well. Next thing I have learned by 23 is that your childhood self, your little girl or little boy self, depending on who is watching this, they deserve kindness, not criticism. And that took me a long time to realize and to learn, because, you know, like I've been saying through this whole video, little girl me went through so much. I went through so many things, so much pain, so much trauma, so much turmoil, so much just chaos, and I blamed myself for, you know, how my life was going due to how I reacted to certain things, how I grew up, and, you know, the choices I made along the way. But I was really in survival mode my whole life, and I feel like sometimes I still can be in survival mode because I'm still healing from a lot of childhood trauma and just different things that have happened to me. But overall, really giving grace to your childhood self. You know, you're a child. You're a minor. You have no idea what's going on most of the time. You're literally just living your life, going from watching, you know, Disney or Nickelodeon to now having bills and, you know, having children and everything like that. So life does literally go by like that. And I think that once I started forgiving my child self, my little girl self, for how I reacted to certain situations, how I coped, the people that I turned to that I thought I could trust, different things like that. Once I respected myself and knew that I was surviving and making choices that I thought were okay, I really started forgiving my child self. And I think that's the best thing that you can do. Not only forgive your childhood self, but just really speak kindness onto them. And something that I have been told in therapy, my therapist said, you know, if you have a picture of you as a child, look at that and think of that child being your child. Like, think of, you know, little girl me. Let me show you guys a picture of me when I was younger. Let me go grab it. So this picture, I was 3 years old. This was like a preschool or like a kindergarten like picture. This was me when I was 3. So I was born in 2003 and this was taken in 2006. So my therapist really told me, you know, look at this picture and imagine this being your child. Imagine this little girl right here being my daughter. It's just, I don't want her to go through the same things that I went through. And, you know, looking at this, obviously knowing that this is me, it just really makes me want to give my child self a hug. It makes me want to tell her, you know, you're gonna go through some shit, like, prepare. I hope you don't go through this. I hope the universe changes the course of your life. But just know that you will come out of it okay. You will come out of it so strong. But yeah, that really changed me that day, you know, pretending like this was my daughter. Yeah, that is all I have for today's video. Those are some of the things I learned by 23. I'm feeling really happy. 23 so far looks really bright, looks amazing, looks very happy. And I cannot wait to keep going and see where my life takes me from here. So if you want to join me and live this life together, definitely subscribe and stay tuned for the rest of May Marathon. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, babes.